Hi there, and welcome back to the Hub of Junior Golf Podcast. I'm Ryan Burr, joined as always by the founder of the Junior Golf Hub, Roger Nick. Roger, I'll tell you what, it is what Scotty Scheffler is doing is nothing short of remarkable. However, and I will put a however in, a lot of people saying this is obviously the most dominant we've seen since Tiger. Tiger became the most famous athlete in the world from the sport of golf. I still believe Scotty Scheffler can go in a grocery store and 85% of the people will have no idea who he is. Is what he is doing, Roger, obviously his golf is good for the game, but that low personality, low energy, low drama, is that good for golf to have that guy be this good?
I mean, yeah, it is such a fun thing to watch him play golf, and you can see his competitive nature. You see his spirit of the game as he's playing golf. But to your point of off the golf course, I think he wants to blend in as any other human being on the planet does. Is it good for golf? I'm not so sure it is good for golf. I mean, you think about what happened with Jordan Spieth in his heyday and how popular he was in the golf circles, but outside of golf circles, he could walk into most grocery stores as well, right? Scotty Scheffler has taken on that veil, if you will, to be the same person. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We can get more into that in a minute. And with that, we welcome in our guest this week on the Hub of Junior Golf Podcast. It is the head coach at New Mexico State University, Coach Mike Dirks. I believe, Coach, entering your 15th year at the helm. That is, you have seen a lot, certainly, in your 15 years. We'll start with that. Have the last 2 or 3 changed more than maybe the first decade?
They've changed so much from when I started here, even when I started college golf. And, I've been one of those coaches that never thought paying people or paying young players to play golf. And it was a privilege. And we had programs where we could develop young men to become players and give them an opportunity to play college golf. And I see some of that changing, and to me, I'm old school, I guess. I like to take kids and have a chance to develop, and now with squad size limits and with name, image, and likeness, I mean, that has changed things that I never would think would have happened in my time of coaching college golf.
Well, Coach, with that being said, well, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Obviously, you had some success last year, and setting a real good record last year, beating some of the top programs in the country. So that was a lot of fun, I'm sure, for you guys. Look forward to seeing that happen again this year. Coach, with that being said, on the changes in the college landscape, our show is all about helping parents and, young people navigate this whole college golf landscape. And that comes up all the time now. I can't talk to a parent without some NIL thing come up. And what should they be offering or asking for from a college program? Are you hearing the same things? I mean, I know we hear some coaches talking about it. Are you hearing that as well? And are you actually putting a dollar amount out there for them?
You probably won't believe this. The recruits that we've talked to, no one has ever asked me about NIL money here at New Mexico State. And I don't know if that's because maybe we're recruiting the right kids for our program, or kids that want to have an opportunity to play. I don't know if we'll ever be in the NIL money for young players coming to college golf. We're here to teach them and to help them get better. But I know it's out there, and I know that it's prevalent, and it's something that we have to compete against those colleges that do have NIL money. But for us, it's about the old school, about digging things out of the dirt, getting better, and bringing kids in there that have a chance. And that's what we've always done, and we're going to continue to do that even in this new era. And I think that's the most important thing. Young people now, I think, with less opportunities at Division I schools to play with squad size limits, I feel for them, because in golf, you never know when you're going to develop. You know, you may not be there coming out of high school, and you see this at smaller colleges. Kids go there and all of a sudden they're stars. They get what golf is. They kind of learn a little bit and they put 2 and 2 together and they finally get 4 and things blossom. And I think golf is like that. And I just worry about opportunities. I know there's other divisions and things like that, but young people dream, and I don't want to crush their dream with all the new things that are going on in college golf.
Coach, certainly you know a little bit about Roger and PDI, and certainly at New Mexico State, you are in the business of looking at a player and not looking at his ranking, not looking to see if he is a AJGA All-American. You are in the business at New Mexico State at looking at a player and saying, what could this player be 2-3 years down the road if he puts in the work that I will ask him to put in? It's become a science for you. Some coaches don't have to do it because they have the other luxuries that they can just go to the rankings and take guys out of that very small pool. How much do you pride yourself on looking at a player at 16, 17 and predicting what 21, 22 could be?
Well, I think at our place, and myself and Coach McGilton included, I think we're trying to find our young players when they play events and how do they handle adversity? You know, how do they come back? Can they handle things at a younger age now? Because they're getting more teaching. They're getting statistical services, and they understand their games a bit more. But for us, we pride ourselves in bringing in kids that we see something. You know, it's hard to find it at 16 and 17 in a young player that may not be the top of junior golf. But a lot of times you can see something if you do this a long time, whether you like the way they handle themselves. Do they hang their head? Do they move forward? Can they chip and putt a little bit? Are they excited? Are they prepared when they get to the first tee? All those things we look at, and can we help them? I mean, I know we help our players get better. I see that every year the players improve and improve and improve. So that's something we strive on, and we're going to continue to do that and hopefully make our players the best that they can be when they get out and have a chance, that chance to play pro golf at whatever level to keep moving up to their dream of the PGA Tour.
Coach Dirks, on the other side of that, being a coach who believes in development and finding, let's call it that undeveloped young player, but still obviously a good player to come play for you, right? They've got to put up numbers. But seeing that and knowing that what's out there in the landscape, are you also finding that players are coming in, playing for you, developing for a year or two, putting up numbers, and then, you know, finding that they are going elsewhere? Or do you see that also? Is that a part of obviously it's part of the landscape. It's the transfer portal is a part of it now. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you've had to deal with?
We have not had to deal with that yet. We are, our players who have improved have stayed with us. They've invested their being in New Mexico State and are proud to be Aggies. And that makes all of us happy that they continue to do that. And I hope we continue to do that. But I think if we develop into great players, I can see that happening. And I don't blame young people for chasing their dream too. If that dream means going somewhere else for them to feel that it's going to be the best for them, I understand that, because I think what we do here is we're here for our players and we want what's best for them. We want to teach them and hopefully they become great. And if that means they do go somewhere else to finish and they think that's going to be the best for them, we want what's best for them. We want to get a degree, first of all, and be golfers to be the best that they can be, because golf is short and you need some other things to fall back on. But if kids develop, we're all for it. If they want to do that, we'll talk to them. We'll give them pros and cons, and I want them to do what they think is best for them.
Coach, I'm looking at your roster that just finished this past season. You had 13 players on that roster. I guess that day and age is gone, at least for the foreseeable future. Why did you like to have a roster that large, and how do you have to change if you can't bring 13 players onto your team anymore?
Well, we like to have more because of the development process that with our players and helping give them a chance to get better. It also helps us keep young players in the state of New Mexico and give them a chance to develop. They don't have a lot of those chances in junior golf. The junior golf program is not at the level that some of the other states are. That hurts a little bit. When you have your own university golf course here at New Mexico State, it gave us a chance to let the kids practice and play and learn and listen and those kind of things. So I'm a little sad about all that, but that's kind of the reason. You just want to give young people a chance when you see something, and homegrown talent, you want to try to keep them home too. So with the roster reduction, gosh, that's a little bit harder than it has been in the past.
Do you see more and more players coming from out of state, obviously, with not having as many homegrown players? Where are you seeing a lot of your players come from? Are you international, domestic? What does your roster makeup look like these days?
Man, we've got players from all over. We've got some kids from New Mexico. We've got a young man from El Paso. We have a Colombian and a young man from Spain. We've got Arizona, a few from Texas, and we're trying to find the best players we can to come here and compete at the highest level. I think college golf, you're seeing a lot of programs have kids from all over the world coming into competing at a high level. So we're kind of there too. And once we get kids in to visit New Mexico State, they like what they see. We've got a golfing climate, all those things. So kids can come from all over, and being in the desert, we get a chance to play year round, and our schedule's really good. But we're trying to find the best we can to compete at the highest level we can compete at.
How much has the game changed? Certainly we have seen it at the professional level, that driving distance has never reached the length it has in this day and age. There's stories now that guys that led the PGA Tour in driving distance wouldn't be in the top 50% from just 8-9 years ago. The game, training, kids learning about speed, maybe foregoing accuracy at 12, 13, and 14 to learn to develop that speed. How important is that to you? Do you believe that it is that's something that you recruit looking for those high distance guys?
I'm still old school. I think you got to drive the ball in the fairway. I think that's important because not everybody has all the shots in the world. I know the tour's bomb and gouge, and it's getting longer and longer, but I'm one of those believers. If you drive it in the fairway, you get to control the second shot you hit. So if you need to hit a cut, you can hit a cut if that's your best shot. If you need to draw it and you're a drawer, you can do that. We want to dictate what we hit into the greens and not what is forced upon us. And I think driving accuracy is huge, and I think chipping and putting are huge in this game. So, but it's changing. I see all the people off the ground hitting the golf ball now. I wasn't taught that way. Mm-hmm. They're all over. And equipment changes have helped. Ball not curving much has probably helped in all that swing speed. And we work on that. We believe that's where the game's going. I truly believe you got to hit the ball in the fairway or right in the first, just off the fairway to be successful.
Coach, I have a young man who is looking to play college golf, D1 golf. He's been visiting a lot of campuses. What would make him want to come play for you? As I know we have parents asking, about locations. So what's a day in the life look like at New Mexico State?
Wow. This fall semester, we're going to work out 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, in the fall, we're going to start school around 11:45. We're going to practice again in the mornings, 6:15, 6:30. It's beautiful out there, and it gives us a chance to continue getting our young people ready to play golf, tournament golf at 7 a.m. We do a lot of things. It's team practice. We do a lot of short game chipping and putting as a team. Individual work on the range, not together. It's kind of hard to get all the guys together, 9 guys together on the range and help. So we kind of do that individually. We do a lot of on-course practice, whether we even practice, hitting the ball right and left of the flag stick, hit it short and long. from different distances and things like that. We have to know, and hopefully our guys learn to control the golf ball enough. So I'm a believer in bogey avoidance. I think that's a key to being good at our school and our level is making less bogeys. All the kids want to make more birdies. How am I going to make more birdies? How can I do this? Well, I think it's easier to make less bogeys in what we do. And I think that lowers your score more so because I think it keeps you in a frame of mind that's level. If you make less bogeys, there's less opportunity to get upset. And I think that's key in young people because I don't think they control adversity in themselves as much as you need to. I think they let it prolong and it may affect their next shot. And I think that's where young people get in trouble. We work on that. I mean, we have to know our kids inside and out and how far they hit the golf ball and what their strengths are. Because what they tell you their strengths are may not be when you watch and talk and see things on TrackMan and things that you can actually show them that they're a little bit of a fallacy of what they really thought. So those are important for us. And we do a lot of qualifying. Competition is key because I've seen a lot of young people that can play, but when the lights are on, it's tougher. So we need to put them in situations at home so they're ready for that situation on the real road when your hands are sweating and your stomach's and learn from those and have opportunities. And I think that's the biggest key is we play a great schedule for New Mexico State. We give our young people opportunity to see what it's like to play with the best and how they're doing. And then the talks we have after, I think that's key in getting better is those kind of things and how you talk to your players, not when they're upset, but when they're calm so they can talk with you. I think that's the key that we try to work on is how and when we talk to our players about important things when they're ready to listen, and then they can communicate back with us.
Coach, what is the state of junior golf right now? Do you like the direction junior golf is going in America? Do you believe that junior golf, as it's currently constituted, is doing the best job possible at developing American players?
Well, that is a great question. To me, junior golf is unbelievable. The level of talent is unbelievable. You see these young kids going to play the PGA Tour. They're coming out ready to play. I think the opportunities are there, and I think they're taking what's given to them and getting better. I mean, I played 2 AJG events when that's all they had when I was young. And now you've got opportunities all over the country and all over the world to play tournament golf. I mean, they're getting instruction, and I think they're getting better instruction. You know, I worry sometimes about companies getting involved with young people and all the things they're doing for them. I understand that's where it's going. Golf is big. I think sometimes you got to get older and earn those things, not as a younger age, but just you strive for things and strive for more. And I like it. I mean, young kids are developing, and golf is a game that is unbelievable. You saw what Tiger did for it, and now what Scotty's doing for it is amazing. I mean, I watch golf all the time. I see it during my work days. I see it at night. I think it's one of the best games in the world, and it teaches young people and teaches everyone something, and you can learn lessons. So I'm all for these junior golfers getting involved and getting away from what we hear in society, the bad things that are going on. I have boosters that help us because they said, my son plays golf and I know where he is on the afternoons. I know where he's at. He's doing the right thing. He's meeting people. He's learning how to say, thank you, yes, sir, no, ma'am, all those things that golf will teach you. And I think junior golf, I'm happy because there's more people involved and they're getting better and better at a younger age. So they're making commitments and playing. I'm all for other sports too. You got to be all around. You got to do a lot of things, and you're well-rounded in life and in athletics. It teaches you athletic mindset. Team athletics teaches you that. And I think that's important because golf, you're only on a team for a little bit and then you're off on your own. So junior golf, I think, is great for me. I'm happy with the direction it's going. We need to get some of those great players here now.
Coach, do you feel that as we are, I think I agree with you. I think we're doing a much better job of getting good information and knowledge down to parents and these young players and giving them opportunities. Do you see the game growing in a way that more let's call it more diversity coming into the game and getting players more opportunities to play out there. Is that also reaching a level of that we'd like to see in the game? Do you think that's something that we can get better at?
I think it's growing. I think there's every area of our golf that we can improve, but I see that moving the right direction. I mean, you see events now on TV that everyone is playing in. And I think people see that, and social media is covering a lot of the events that growing the game, the diversity of the game. The junior golf, I see it too in PGA junior leagues and things like that. You get a lot of people involved, and I think we're growing it the right way. And I think it may take time, but I think the people that are in charge of golf want to make that happen too. And I think we're seeing more and more of that. I'm happy that we're starting. I think we got a good direction, and I'm all for everyone getting involved in golf in the direction that people are trying to help it.
Well, obviously, the Notre Brigade Junior Golf World Championship on Golf Channel, putting kids 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on national television has kind of changed how kids handle. I mean, they're just used to it now. I mean, you look at the alumni list of that NB3 Junior Golf Tour and what these players are going on to do. It's pretty remarkable. Now it's moved into the college game, and you guys at New Mexico State pulled off, as Roger started the program with, one of the largest upsets, actually the largest upset of the entire college golf season by college ranking. Your guys took down Texas, Stanford, two for sure blue bloods, and New Mexico, University of New Mexico as well. Take me back to October of last year. When you came into that event, was your expectation to win?
Let me tell you first, it started when I got the call from NOTA February before that. The excitement started. When I told our young people that we were going to play in that, it started there. At our first team meeting of the fall, I told them, you guys are good. We have what it takes to be successful. The talent's here. All the things are here. Now it's up to us. And before the Notre Brigade, we played a couple events. We played really solid golf. And then they love the idea, I think, about competing one-on-one and being on television. I worried about television, but they embraced it. Most of them have never played in front of cameras. That was special. They hit shots. Their head was high. They walked down the fairway like they were in this to win it. And they showed that by their talk and how they did things. And I think that was awesome. They knew they could do this. You just have to be told sometimes and then actually do it to really believe sometimes. But they knew they could play. And I think they saw the battle, and they figured out how to let go of the past on each hole. If you didn't play good or didn't win, they learned some of that, some more. Let go of what happened. And I think the thing that helped us too is playing with the girls the last two rounds. I think the chemistry, the camaraderie back and forth helped. It kept, I think, easing the pressure. And I think those were all instrumental in all these things. So sometimes you need all that when you're trying to do something you haven't done ever. And I think it kept us calm. And I think that was awesome.
Coach, one more thing for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, or maybe some good words of encouragement to the young players out there and parents listening. What's your best advice for them in this journey trying to play college golf?
Well, didn't we hear it from Jimmy Valvano, the ESPN, don't give up, don't ever give up? I mean, if you have a dream, chase it. You never know when opportunity knocks. And if you want it, sometimes you have to take a spot maybe below a Division I and keep doing what you're doing to enjoy and improve. I think that's the thing. And don't get discouraged. Golf is hard. And you keep introducing yourself to coaches and sending them your tournament you're playing in. So if they're at an event, they can watch you and maybe say, hey, this kid was right to me. This kid's a little better than I thought. Look how he does things when you see him. And I think that's also important, but those are important. I mean, you have to chase. Life is short. So opportunities may be down, but if you find one, take it, because you can reach your dreams from anywhere. If you put in the work and you have good coaches, you have an instructor that you can communicate with, you can get there with some hard work and then actually listen to your coaches and carry on conversation with them about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, that third, the two coaches' eyes they see and watch you play. Don't give up. Just keep moving forward and find something that will push you and you push yourself.
Well, Coach, that is wonderful advice. We certainly look forward to you guys coming back to defend your title this October with UNLV, University of New Mexico, and Oregon, who will have New Mexico's own Aiden Kraft on that team. Of course, he played in, I believe he played in 3 NB3 junior golf championships at Coshada, and now he's coming back in the college game. So going to be excited, certainly looking forward to seeing you, and best of luck to the start of your new season.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We're looking forward to the Nota Begay too.
All right, you got it. Take care, Coach.
Good luck, Coach Dirks.
Thank you.
So certainly, Roger, a lot of good advice there from Coach Dirks. Not giving up is a great message for the junior golf player out there. We have the ability to see junior golfers on a daily basis. There's a lot of obstacles in the way right now of the junior golfer, whether it's parental intervention, whether it's not knowing how to practice, whether it's not playing enough tournament golf. Only a very small percentage are able to ultimately make it to play college golf. That's just the reality of the numbers. Coach likes where junior golf is going. Do you like the direction?
I love the direction, Ryan. I think the more that we can give opportunities for players to go play the game without feeling that they're getting punished of playing competitive golf. I think competitive golf is awesome. I think Coach Dirks mentioned, how much value that is in life, that tournament golf gives to someone who's playing, right? Life lessons through the game of golf, in the adversity they have to deal with and how they handle themselves during that time frame. I think it's, as long as we continue rewarding players for failing, if you will, and growing through that failure and giving more exposure to something they love to do, I think it's great. I think if, we have that hiccup where, people are kind of playing the rankings game, and, we talked about this a little bit last episode, but as long as they're not feeling that pressure of going, oh my God, I got to pull out of a tournament when I start feeling bad or not playing well, or I can't go play golf in my backyard because it doesn't give me enough ranking points, or it doesn't give me to this elevated tournament. I think as long as we can show and continue to provide opportunities to play golf unencumbered in a way of going, man, I just love going and compete, I think we're going to see it getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, it's you look at other sports in the U.S. Certainly, there's no system is great. Certainly, the advent of travel sports and the other games of soccer and baseball and football, hockey down the line. There may be an argument that the kids are playing too much. From the age of 8 to 18. But none of those sports are you worried about. Like in baseball, imagine if you started a game 0 for 2 and you went to the coach and said, I got to pull out. I can't have this game recorded.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just golf is the only game of all of our youth sports in America where kids are consciously thinking about, is it best for me to quit?
Yeah, right.
That's real.
Yeah, it is very real. We see it all the time, unfortunately, and
like a lot more than people think. There are kids quitting every single weekend, and I'm talking about a lot of kids that are deciding to quit And you look at, imagine you're in a basketball game. You miss your first 2 shots. You're like, no, coach, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't want to run. I don't want to ruin my stats, and because
Right.
I've got a contract year this year.
Yeah. We've got to find a way. We've got to find a way to play more golf. We've got to find a way where locally you can play more golf. I mean, I don't love the idea of living in Florida and realizing that my best chance to play is in Idaho and booking a $6,000 weekend to go play junior golf in Idaho. Nothing wrong with Idaho if you're from Idaho. I'm just saying the system of, if I'm in Florida, if I want, I should never have to leave Florida. That's for darn sure.
That's for darn sure. And I've seen it now in the last 15 years when we first started having events from the AJGA in the Northeast, and how many people flocked to the Northeast to get a top 5 finish so they can get the fully exempt status that came from Texas, California. I mean, the field was so full. And granted, we needed to grow the game in the Northeast for sure of competitive golf. But it was so inundated with players from all over the world, quite frankly, because it was such a small field from the Northeast. And quite frankly, the competition wasn't as good. So it was a little bit easier. Now it's different. I think the message there, Ryan, is more about, we want to have play, but we want to have them understand that this is a developmental time frame, not a end-all be-all time frame. And I think if we can get that message across to the parents and players that all junior golf is about playing and developing their golf skills, their mental skills, their physical skills, and hopefully they fall in love with the game in a way that says, I want to do this competitively at another level. And they've learned through that pathway, not, hey, if I don't succeed now, I'm a failure, so I'm going to quit or I'm going to pull out. Because guess what happens? You do that in life as well, right? It starts getting hard. All right, well, I've been shown that when it gets hard, you want to get ahead, you stop playing, you quit, and you go do something else, right? Just the wrong message. I think we just got to keep messaging that competitive junior golf is about development and not about just the end all be all, right?
And I think we're getting, I think there's things coming down the pipeline that are going to change. Certainly the opportunity to play more. I agree with you. I really like the direction that golf is going. The last thing I'll touch on is you currently have a group of players from Thailand that came all the way from Asia to play at your academy for a month. Live there, eat there, and play golf. And the feedback I've gotten from the parents is that PDI is completely changed the way they practice and the way they prepare. Thailand, certainly per capita, it may have the best, especially in the women's side. I mean, it's remarkable. The LPGA Tour now inundated with a great crop of young Thai players, but this group had no idea how to practice. They got to your, in Florida, they came to your academy for this month-long camp. And the feedback I'm getting is that PDI, and they're going to take this back with them. And that's the beauty of it, is they now every single day go through their version of PDI, and from day to day actually have it charted of how they can get better in every single area of golf. I'm not sure, and certainly I know we never did this. We never charted a practice for golf. We hit balls for, a couple pyramids, you hit a couple putts, and then you went and played as many holes as you could. But there was no identifying, wow, I'm really weak in this area. Wow, I cannot hit a shot right to left. I'm good at hitting left to right. I'm just going to keep doing that. But that time where I'm behind a tree and have to hit right to left, I've never practiced it.
Yeah.
PDI, I also think that is massively changing, especially as it becomes more and more and more prevalent. We're seeing it certainly with the MB3, with kids all going through the program. But identifying where you're weak, and that's not like a negative. It's not saying, it's identifying what part of the game you probably need to spend a little more time on. And that's to be able to know, if someone was able to give me a list of what my weaknesses are and I could go then work to make those strengths, just think how much better you'd be.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was funny. I was just talking to Dr. Brand, our clinical psychologist at the Golf Performance Center, and we're talking about goal setting. And I think the misalignment of how people set their goals, especially junior golfers, especially junior athletes, I won't just say golfers, but junior athletes who set goals relative to what they think they should be able to do relative to the best players or athletes in the world, without even recognizing where they are currently today. And to your point, I was speaking with one of the coaches from Thailand that was in the group down in Florida last Thursday. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Did you get any of that? Sorry.
So we'll make an edit. Just pick it up with I talked to the coach.
Yeah, so I talked to the coach down in Florida with the Thai players, and they were talking about how they had no idea about goal setting and setting goals relative to where they really are. Now with doing something like PDI, it gave them the opportunity to really set better goals and understand and tying them back to where their skills are today, right? So PDI helps us understand where their skills are today, whether it's physical, golf, or mental, and it allows them to work on their weakest areas relative to where they are, not where some arbitrary number is or goal is for the best players in the world, which I think, unfortunately, we tend to have this comparison model versus, working on the things that we need to work on. So I think it helps, doing PDI on a regular basis just helps you manage your goals better. It helps you understand really that it's not a weakness to be weak in an area. It's actually a strength to know that you're weak in the area. So you can work on it, right? So really, really purposeful practice comes from it, right? Coach Dirks mentioned that, he'd rather see a player work on curving the golf ball, controlling his golf ball, versus just, bomb and gouge it. And that is the game too, but you can do both, right? You can do both, and you want to control your golf ball as best possible. So we're really excited about where things are going with it, Ryan, and the players down there from Thailand had a great time, and I know the coaches really enjoyed working with them. So thanks for helping us out on that.
Sure. And last thing, I know we're running long again, but as I really look at golf and again compare it to other sports, the nature of golf, especially elite golf as a junior, is you are putting in a lot of time by yourself. That's just the nature of our game. And it obviously is I just see every single day, I just see juniors, good players with zero, I'm talking zero, Roger, plan when they arrive at the golf course to practice. There is no plan. The closest thing we have to a plan is starting with your pitching wedge and just going through in a half hour, try to hit 10 shots with it. But there's half the kids aren't even shooting at a target. They're just blasting balls as fast, it's almost like how quickly can I get through these balls so I could say I practiced.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to see really happen is, out of all this, my goal now is to actually create PDI where, especially the self-assessment version, where that becomes the implementation of every kid's practice, how they start their day when they arrive to the range. They have an actual plan.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's there. The funny thing, it's there. They just have to implement it, right? So and just click on and go and use the app. But even better than that, it actually tracks and helps you be accountable for said plan, right? So you can go back and look at those days that you've actually used it and start going, wow, I was actually improving over time. I can see it. I'm measuring those days now of practice because I've had the plan to work off of. So that is what's really so important. And I think, where coaches now are starting to use this is going, hey, you've got your plan. We know what you need to work on. At the end of the week, he can look and, check the app and go, well, did you actually do what you're supposed to do? Very easy to see whether they did it or didn't do it, right? So I know a big thing for us is using this with parents when they go, well, my kid's not getting better. Okay, well, let's look at their practice plan. Let's go to their app and let's see how they log their practices in. Oh, they didn't practice all week. Oh, no, they practiced. We just didn't put it down in the app. Well, then you didn't practice. Then you didn't follow your plan, right? So that's a good way to have accountability.
So a lot of different ways to do that. Certainly go to the juniorgolfhub.com, get your child started with PDI. And then the easiest way also, jgnc.org, go and join the world in doing your self-assessment. We're actually keeping a worldwide leaderboard. You could do as many times as you want. And that's a great way to make it a competition where practicing becomes fun, but also where there's a goal to keep getting better and moving up this worldwide leaderboard, which will continue on through the summer and into the fall. So a lot of great things happening with juniorgolfhub.com, certainly the best place to start that process. So that's going to do it again for the Hub of Junior Golf podcast. For our director and producer, Michael Nick, we always say thank you to Michael. Does a great job getting us on and off the air. I'm not sure how he does it, Roger, but he manages to do it. And for Roger Nick, I'm Ryan Burr saying until next time, so long from the Hub of Junior Golf podcast.